Welcome to TMZ Live. Britney Spears has cut a plea deal in her DUI case. And on one level, she's getting a big break because she's not going to be convicted of drunk driving. But on another level, Britney Spears is in some peril during the next 12 months.
Because a lot of things, she's going to be essentially on probation for the 12 months. And there are very strict conditions that she must follow, some of which we know
she's having problems
are in opposition to how she's led her life for a long time.
A couple of things in particular. One is that, look, Britney has had substance abuse issues. It's why she went to rehab recently, although people around her felt it should have been way longer than it was. It was about 17, 18 days. But one of the things she's done is she's gone down to Mexico to get Adderall. And we've known this for a long time now. One of the conditions is she cannot possess any drug without a valid prescription.
And they can, by the way, they can actually perform raids, as it were, to search to make sure that she does not, that she's adhering to that term.
Search her car.
Right.
And if she has any of those pills in that car, or they find her with pills in any other location for whatever reason, that could violate her probation. That's when judges sentence people to jail, when they're cut a break and they violate the break. And I'm not saying she's going to do this, but, you know, she's got...
For someone who's had abuse, substance issues and only went to rehab, as we said, for 2.5 weeks, it's not uncommon that there are relapses. And in this case, because she's under such strict conditions, those relapses could lead to jail time. Now, there are some things that I think they put in place that I think the people around her who said that she needed help, that they will be very happy with. The fact that she has to see a psychologist once a week and a psychiatrist twice every month.
So, you know, this is something that was in place during the conservatorship, but when the conservatorship ended, the structure ended.
Right.
And that set her on a path that ended up in court. I mean, that's kind of what happened.
Another interesting thing that came out from all of this is that we were talking about is the prescription drugs, right? Like, so she can't be in possession of drugs without the actual prescription. As we've reported over the years, like, she has to... she would take those trips to Mexico. Right.
Well, they can go to Mexico. She can go to Mexico. She just can't
go to the
drugs
pharmacy.
there.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, look, we've talked about this with stars, you know, over the years, that sometimes people don't want to be on probation because it is dicey that you violate any law. I mean, if she violates traffic laws, especially because this was a drunk driving case, that could put her in jeopardy. So even though on the surface it feels like, you know, this is, you know, a great break for Britney, it really, as we said at the beginning, it really comes with some
and it means she's going to have to toe the line, which I think the people around her who were concerned should be very happy with. It's probably the best thing that could happen, right? Because now they can say to her, you really got to watch what you're doing because you're going to end up in jail.
Right.
Hi, my name is Bella Baskin. I'm located in Woodland Hills, California. I think I can speak for the majority of Britney fans when I say that I think I'm glad she's getting a chance to course correct her misconduct. I don't think anyone wants to see Britney in jail. She's been through so much already, and I think everyone just wants to see her get the help she needs and thrive and be happy. I think that as time goes on, it becomes more evident that the Free Britney movement was really ignorant to the severity of her mental health struggles. I do believe she's been struggling with her mental health and her addiction for many years. And while I don't think a conservatorship is necessary, I do think she needs help. And I think that
I want to stop you and ask if you're saying that the Free Britney movement was off base because they didn't consider her mental illness, which is true, then how do you address that without a conservatorship?
Without the conservator, right?
Well, I think these are going to be serious consequences for her. You know, I hope that this is a wake-up call for her and that she really takes these consequences seriously and course corrects. And hopefully this is that chance that she needs to make change.
ultimately this case becomes the closest thing to structure that Britney has had since the conservatorship. Now, she doesn't have to adhere to the things that the court said, but if she doesn't, she knows what the consequences are.
Yeah, but I will say, when you say hopefully she'll see the light and follow the rules, that's kind of harsh because she has a mental illness and it's not her fault. And that's one of the reasons they created a conservatorship, because she can't. And to say hopefully she sees the light, that's the problem that led to the conservatorship. Right. So I think that's kind of harsh.
Well, as you can see, it is the most fashionable day in entertainment. I mean,
please.
We're ready for the Met Gala. Thankfully, no one has ever even thought about inviting us. But yes, in just a couple of hours.
I would decline.
Of course.
As do many people these days.
Yes, and there are a lot who are going to be declining this year because they don't like who's
throwing the party.
Who's throwing the party? Who's hosting by way of a very generous donation? That would be Jeff and Lauren Bezos. And a lot of people don't like the conspicuous consumption that comes with being a multi-billionaire. And so they have decided...
What was the first clue? Taking over Venice for a wedding?
You consider that conspicuous consumption?
Yeah, just a little.
Yes, there are a lot of people who are upset that with Bezos' association with the Met Gala. And so they have decided not to go. In fact, big names that people look for every year on that walking up those stairs, including Zendaya.
Well, the one that I find the most interesting is Meryl Streep, because The Devil Wears Prada 2 just came out.
You would think that she's a lock, that she would have been there this year. That she would have been there, and she generally doesn't go to these, but still, this is a different year. You would have thought.
But she ain't going. And part of this is just the optics. I mean, there was a big sign outside the Metropolitan Museum, and they have a worker peeing in a
bucket.
In a bucket, and they're saying this is kind of the way things are right now.
Yeah, look, there's a big boycott. Obviously, they're pushing back against the Bezos. There's labor practices people have issues with Amazon and so forth. What I don't understand is the Metropolitan Museum of Art is all about patronage from wealthy people. That's how the arts stay alive. He is a guy who stroked a massive check. This is always an event that is opulent, grand.
Right.
It is part of that tradition. What is different about this year?
Right.
Why is he so polarized?
Gas prices are $4.39.
We've been in wars before during the Met
people
Gala.
Struggling in America every year that the Met Gala happens.
And why is he so uniquely anathema to people?
Because this comes up a lot, that people do say it's Marie Antoinette territory.
Yeah, it is, but it is every year, and people are suffering every year.
I think the Bezoses change it some.
Why?
Because I think they've been polarizing for a lot of people in the country, that they've been, Bernie Sanders uses Jeff Bezos as an example of what needs to change in the country. And I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but I'm saying he is a polarizing figure, and they flaunt their...
He's become the avatar for the billionaire class.
The only thing that's different is that you now have a face you can put to it. The Met Gala is always out of touch from most of society, right?
But that's behind the scenes, maybe, and this is the poster child for the billionaire class.
But now you have a poster child to say, oh, it's him.
A poster child who has a $500 million yacht and took over Venice.
Why do you think the arts exist? How do you think the patronage for the arts works? Why we have ballets? Why we have art
museums? Everyone there is incredibly wealthy.
But you're acting like I'm taking a side, and I'm not. I'm just saying,
yes, you're definitely taking a side.
I'm saying, why are people looking at this? Why are they animated more this year?
Yeah.
And it's because he is very in-your-face wealthy.
Yes.
And it's different than when the Met Gala throws it and there's no face to it.
Right.
And there's a face to this one. And, if it were Bill Gates would be a whole other issue, but at least...
he would not be... They wouldn't take his check this year, I don't think.
But without that... because he was giving so much money away, and he's not like opulent the way Jeff Bezos is.
But
might have been
Bezos
different.
gives away a lot of money also.
But he also has a mega yacht with Lauren at the mast or whatever, on the front prow or whatever it is. So rubs people the wrong way.
I'm Aracel. I'm from New York City, and I think it's a big disappointment for a lot of these girls who we know are going to bring it, and celebrities who we know deliver on theme not to be a part, but at the same time, you can't really blame them, because although it always is super opulent, I think just being associated with a name like Bezos, especially now, I feel like it would be hard to escape the kind of critique that could come along with that. So it's a disappointment as a fan, but at the same time, you understand not wanting to be, I don't know, I guess, invisible support of something other than what the Met Gala is about, which is, the garments, the fashion, giving back to the Met, which a lot of people don't usually associate it with anyway.
That's true.
Yeah,
Giving
it's a
back,
charity event, essentially.
People don't realize that.
It looks like she's got a couple of options there to go tonight.
Looks like it to me.
Coming up.
A very interesting voice has entered the ongoing debate about GLP-1s, drugs like Ozempic, about whether or not this is cheating if you use these drugs.
Be right back.
Well, a very interesting voice has entered the ongoing debate about GLP-1s, drugs like Ozempic, about whether or not this is cheating if you take this, if you use these drugs. We've talked about this for months, but I think Ashley Graham's voice is necessary in this debate.
She's not just talking about cheating. She's saying that it undermines a movement that she was behind.
She was a big part of. Ashley Graham, arguably the most famous plus-size model in the world. She did an interview with Marie Claire talking about this, and she said, it's really disheartening. There was a pendulum that swung that was so body acceptance, positivity, everybody be who they want to be. And now it's going back this whole opposite way that feels like a smack in the face to the women who have felt like they've had a voice.
This is insane. Wow. This is insane.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't?
Well, no, it's just insane that the idea that a drug like this can help people, women and men, avoid diabetes, avoid all sorts of problems associated with obesity, and a drug that you're not shoving it down anybody's throat. It's a good thing to be healthy and not a good thing to be unhealthy.
Good thing to have the option, and you can choose to do what you want.
But the idea of saying, oh, this is a slap in the face to the body-positivity movement, baloney. This is an option that people have so they don't get sick and die. How's that?
I think what she's referring to is there's been a big wave of people that aren't necessarily overweight that have been doing it. There's this whole thing of people microdosing GLP-1s and people who, really just want to curb their appetite, like Chelsea Handler.
But those people aren't part of the body positivity.
No. Well, why are they trying to do it? Like, Chelsea Handler said that she does it not because she's a big girl, but just because she doesn't want to be too full from a cheeseburger.
But that's not about it.
Right. Ashley Graham is talking about people.
That's weird, but she's talking about other people. She's saying you should have permission to be who you want to be.
And if you want to be overweight, then you have the right to do that, right?
But the idea that a drug like this can avert all these terrible diseases, some of which are fatal, and to say, oh, this is a slap in the face to body positivity is insane. I mean, it is insane.
I mean, the reality is, if it's okay, if someone is overweight and they want to remain that way, that's the body positivity moment.
It's their life.
That you can be happy. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But if someone doesn't want that, that should be okay also.
And also, you shouldn't tell people...
I mean, they're both the body positivity.
Well, yeah, and to tell people, oh, you shouldn't be looking at Ozempic. Oh, right, because you want to get diabetes and die. I mean, it's insane.
Okay, you don't have to bring it back to the death thing.
I'm sorry, but it's true that one of the biggest problem with COVID, the reason most people died, was obesity. And the idea to say, oh, how dare you bring this drug out on the market to make people healthier is just crazy.
I'm Brittany, and I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland, and I partially agree with Ashley here. I mean, I do think that there are celebrities and influencers that are pushing thinness and entertainment and fashion and using GLPs just for the sake of being thinner. And I do worry about what the long-term effects of that are going to be mentally and physically. However, I'm not going to sit here and demonize GLP-1s either. I think that they're definitely helping people that need to lose weight, that have severe obesity problems. And it's a good tool, but it should be used for those who are severely struggling. And ultimately, love your body. That's cool. But we should be pushing for people to overall be healthy and get checked out by their doctors, whether they're thin or not.
Sounds reasonable.
Yep. One of my favorite daily memes to look for is Marco Rubio doing yet another job. Since he has so many actual jobs within the administration, there's a funny thing where they always show Marco Rubio sitting on the couch and he's wearing something different every day based on another job he's got to do. I had not seen one with him as a DJ. And I think now, actually, this one isn't even a meme.
You should know better than this.
It actually happened.
Remember we had him on the show, and he was talking about his love of hip-hop, so he's into music.
No, we know he's definitely into music. I just didn't know he was actually, spinning.
Sort of spinning.
Well, get the headphones up there, man.
No,
It looks like he's assisting the actual DJ.
This is like driver's training.
He's got the headphones on, but I need to see his hands on the fader.
Yeah.
This was at a family wedding, and I guess Marco felt like he had something to offer in the way of DJing, so he went up. There you go. All right.
I gotta say, this is the kind of stuff that works. I mean, everybody knows he wants to be president. Right. He ran once. He wants to be president. There's a big question now. Is it him? Is it going to be Vance? But he wants to be president. And this, it makes me remember when Bill Clinton was on Arsenio Hall and played the saxophone.
Right. You got to do things that make you look very relatable, that you're just the average guy who gets up and DJs at your cousin's wedding or whatever relative it was.
And the other thing is, and I want to say this carefully, but there are a lot of people in the administration who are kind of out there. And I think he's positioned himself as more between the lines. And
he's one of the cabinet members you rarely hear someone ripping or making fun of. Like, I think you're right, because of his job and what he does. He's not necessarily out in front of the more controversial things that are happening.
Yeah, and just his personality is more between the lines than other people. And I think it helps him. And I think what he was doing there, it's just kind of a relatable thing. And, every move now has to be looked at with the lens of 2028.
I want to know what song he actually wanted to play. There's a reason he went up there, right?
Well,
there's some song he wanted to play.
Deep into hip-hop. He is deep into hip-hop. We know that.
That wasn't hip-hop he was playing.
I understand that. Well, he wasn't.
What's going on?
He was not in full control.
Secretary DJ, what's going on?
So for me, it's moments like this that really strip the politics away. And it's a real person. He has a family. His family matters. And it puts life into perspective. It puts our politicians into perspective. They're human beings too. And I love to see this. I love to see Marco Rubio, especially from my home state of Florida. It's really humanizing, especially in such polarizing times in politics.
Speaking of politics, you want to hear something scary? Jacob and Charlie from our TMZ DC crew, they're at the White House right now.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Hopefully we're going to get a report from them later in the show. But what could possibly go wrong?
Coming up.
So Nick Cannon, definitely one of the celebrities in town you turn to for parenting advice. He was on the TMZ podcast.
My son been dating.
Oh. Really?
And I've allowed it.
Why?
I've encouraged it.
Encouraged?
But my daughter...
I hope you've been allowing it and encouraging that too.
Absolutely not.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
So Nick Cannon, definitely one of the celebrities in town you turn to for parenting advice because, he's got a lot of kids.
He knows a lot about it.
He's doing quite a bit of parenting. But we had him, actually you saw him, he stopped in the studio last Friday. We talked to him, but he was on the TMZ podcast. And we talked to him about the fact that his twins with Mariah are both 15 now.
Well, they have to be the same age.
I said, that's not what I was saying. They're both 15.
You don't need the word both. The twins are
15.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. Hair splitting. What does he do when it comes to dating? Because at 15, that's the thing that you got to deal with. And he's dealing with it in a very, let's say, controversial way.
My son been dating.
Oh. Really?
And I've allowed it.
Why?
I've encouraged it.
Encouraged?
But my daughter...
I hope you've been allowing it and encouraging that too.
Absolutely not.
That
Really?
makes no sense. That makes
First of all,
no sense.
it's absolutely a double standard.
I hope you know I'm going to be talking about this on the TV show.
You have to, because first of all, and I know I get in trouble a lot because I say things with my chest, but there is a difference when parenting a son and then when parenting a daughter.
And 2026?
Yes, because I am more protective of my daughter because there's things out there that I have to protect my daughter from, like, as we know, there's certain type of individuals that you want to keep your daughter away from. My son, it's a different conversation. My son is not calling me like, Dad, she hit me. He's not doing that. But if somebody puts their hands on my daughter, I'm going to jail.
You're not worried about gold diggers for your son?
No, he got a whole lot of money. His mama's Mariah Carey.
I was wondering when Mariah got to get involved in this.
Okay, hold on.
Interesting.
On a serious note, it is hard to argue with him that it's different because it is different.
I get why people are gonna be, ruffled, very upset about, or gonna be upset about it, but
argue it.
Is right.
Yeah,
I did argue it with him.
He's right.
Granted, I was clearly the only female in this podcast, and I brought up the fact that that's not fair. In 2026, you cannot have a double standard to tell your son, who's the exact same age, that he can go out and date, but his daughter can't because he's worried about.
Let's just be real. In the real world,
right?
Generally speaking,
yes,
there are places and certain times of day where you don't want women to be, right?
Correct.
By themselves.
1,000%.
As opposed to a man by himself.
1,000%.
The world is generally a more dangerous place for women.
We're talking about 15-year-olds going on a date to go get ice cream or going to the
but
movies with other 15-year-olds.
Well, hold on. You're saying ice cream. And a date can take many forms.
I asked him.
Hold on. Have you ever lied to your parents about where you were going on a date and you went somewhere else?
No, but I have lied to my parents about what I'm doing on the date. Like, for example, like in no. Like in 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, everyone tells their parents we're going to the movies. No one actually goes into the movie theater. You hang out at the promenade. You
just admitted what I just said.
But I'm also hanging out with other 15-year-olds.
Hanging out at the promenade.
With 15-year-olds.
While those 15-year-olds are hanging out at the promenade, or whatever you want to call it, they can be exposed to the predators that Nick is afraid of.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you go on TMZ.com right now, how many articles have we posted of these teachers, female teachers, having sexual...
Not as many as males.
That's a lie.
Not as many as males.
That is a lie.
It's not.
I can guarantee you, if I pull up that website, we have, in the last year, the amount of female teachers that have been predators to their male students.
Well, right. I mean, that's
so
in
it's
school,
the same
and that's
thing.
a very serious problem, but that's different from, that's school. The kids can't avoid that, right?
They're hanging out with these teachers outside of school. They're contacting them outside of school. They're sleeping together outside of school.
I know, but
so predators are everywhere.
Name 5.
I can show you 5 on the team. There's one every day.
We manage the site and we see it. And yes, it's happened.
Harvey.
But it does happen. It doesn't happen.
But we're a little bit off the subject, which is about...
because it doesn't happen nearly to the extent it does with men.
I have to...
It's just true.
I disagree. And I just think as a woman, I think Nick, and of all people, fine, if you guys are saying the right message, terrible messenger. Love you, Nick.
You can't yell terrible messenger and then go love you,
First of all, let me just tell you.
How is he a terrible messenger?
Because this interview went viral everywhere. And the main message that everyone said is how you're basically trying to say you don't want your daughter to date men like you.
No.
Who has multiple baby mothers, who has multiple children.
Nick did this as an adult. So it's different, and he's not talking about that.
So you're making
he's
my
talking
point
about kids.
as an adult.
He's talking about children who are unsafe, and that's what he's talking about.
Per usual, let's just agree to disagree.
No, let's just say we're right.
Hi, my name's Tyson. I'm from North Carolina. And look, I understand wanting to protect your daughter, so I think 2 things can be true. But at the same time, I think you should be preparing her, like what to look out for in guys, what character traits to look out for, instead of just completely limiting it and intimidating it. But I understand they're 15. But I'll also say this, at the same time, he should be putting that same energy in his son as well, because if he's worried about the men that are, kind of out there, and I fully agree with that, his son shouldn't even be a part of that, which I hope he's not, but he needs to put that same energy into the son as well.
Can I just say that is an outstanding throw.
Thank you.
I hate that I knew you were going to say that.
Coming up.
The celebrity endorsements are stacking up for perhaps the next mayor of LA, Spencer Pratt. Adrena Patridge was asked about this and about his candidacy. She's all for it.
I really think that he would make a change and he would make sure it happens.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. The celebrity endorsements are stacking up for, is it possible, should I say, that perhaps the next mayor of LA, Spencer Pratt, who is, as we pointed out, very serious about this. Initially, everyone thought, ha, ha, ha. Yes, he's upset about the fact that he lost his house in the fires. And a lot of people, obviously, are trying to come back from that. And Spencer had been sort of a face of that. But does that mean he should be the mayor of Los Angeles?
So let's look.
One of his former co-stars.
Somebody who doesn't live in L.A.
Which seems to be a theme with some of his endorsements. But Adrena Patridge was asked about this and about his candidacy. She's all for it.
It looks like he seems to be, being taken seriously by Los Angeles residents. He's kind of winning polls right now. Were you expecting that when he announced that he was going to run for mayor, that he would go this far in the race?
No, I loved how passionate him and Heidi were just about the Palisades and, being the voice. And then whenever I heard he was running for mayor, at first I'm like, is that a joke? Is that real? And then I started seeing all of his campaigns and his interviews, and I was like, dang, I'm beyond impressed.
Yeah, he's serious.
Yes.
Are you planning on voting for him?
I live in Orange County,
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Go Spencer. I think.
So you're rooting for him?
I am. I really think that he would make a change and he would make sure it happens. Especially with knowing him from the hills and everything, he's determined and he makes things happen.
Okay. So
boy,
here's
where do
the
we
thing.
start?
I've known Spencer for 20 years, and he's a good guy. Based on my interactions, and I like him a lot. And I think he's done great work with the fires to really kind of highlight the failures of the city. Here's my issue, and it's not just with Spencer, it's with the current mayor, Karen Bass, too. When you're mayor, you are responsible for running scores of departments. You have 15,000 people working for the city of LA. It requires administrative skill. Just because you have good ideas doesn't mean you sit down and you say, wait a minute, what's the Department of Building and Safety doing? What's the Department of Transportation doing? And it's all of a sudden, you are overwhelmed. And we don't put any value in this. And it's like, oh, I really like his campaign ad.
Right. What I heard Adrena saying is that she's rooting for him, that's great. I would expect that she's rooting for him. But that's different from saying he's the right person for this.
And by the way, and I'm not saying Karen Bass is the right person either, because she didn't have any administrative experience.
Right, and look,
it's like nobody looks at this.
Right, and the city's a hellhole. I'm sorry. There's nobody who thinks that this city is in a good spot right now.
I am an old dog now, and I have lived in this city almost all my life, and I do not remember it worse than it is now.
And I think that's why you've got people who are on both sides of the aisle who are saying, let's give this guy a shot. Maybe what we need is somebody who is radically out of the box. I think that's what a lot of people are feeling right now.
Well, that's how Donald Trump got
right, exactly.
Radically outside of the box sometimes gets you too far away from what you need.
Right. Maybe it might be a horrible idea, Charles. I agree with you on that. It might ultimately be a horrible idea. And it's a long shot that he's going to win, although he is picking up a lot of momentum. Let's be honest.
Look,
he's definitely picking up momentum.
Karen Bass has this incredible support. It's one of the reasons the guy who does have administrative experience, Rick Caruso,
very narrowly lost her. Right.
It wasn't that narrow, it turns out. He actually lost. He lost by a wider margin than I thought he would.
Really?
And it's because she has a base in this city. She was a congresswoman. But she doesn't have administrative experience either. And look at what's going on with this city. You're right.
I haven't been here that long. I've only been here 13 years, but I've seen changes
I've been
in that
here
short.
Many decades.
Yeah, no, I know.
And it's terrible. and there
going on a damn near a century.
There are so many problems in this city that are not being addressed properly. And I won't get into it, but I had dinner on Saturday night with somebody who was, I'm just going to say this, who was an architect, who was working on a project, and you know this person, where 100 architects were going to donate their time to rebuild Altadena and the Palisades, and the state was actually down with it. Gavin Newsom was down with this. It died a slow death in the city.
Nakia from Los Angeles. Listen, as a millennial, if you would have asked me 20 years ago if Spencer Pratt would be running to be mayor and people would take him serious, I would have told you no. I think Spencer, of course, we talked about it. He means well, but this is the first time that we've actually seen him being serious because unfortunately his house burned down. We've never seen Spencer do the work. And of course, Audrina's going to support. She comes from the hills. I would actually be surprised if LC, Lauren Conrad supported. But again, he's never done the work. I think some people may disagree when you say that Los Angeles is horrible today. I think for over the years in certain cities and certain parts, Los Angeles has always been what it is. But again, we've never seen him do the work. I've never seen him downtown trying to help the homelessness, try to raise money for shelters. And I just think people just need to be serious in Los Angeles because I live in Los Angeles and do not campaign for Spencer Pratt. That's just what it is. He means well, but no.
Who do you like?
But that's the thing. No one really.
Exactly.
Well, Olivia Wilde, I think you could say she's fine with the joke.
There's something fishy about this.
She's at least leaning into some, I would say, mean criticism that's come from an appearance she made at the San Francisco International Film Festival. And a lot of people thought, what the heck is going on with her eyes? They compared her to Gollum. That's not pleasant. But she saw all of this criticism. And she saw all this. There's an explanation for what you're seeing there. But Olivia leaned into it and had a little fun with all the criticism.
Olivia Wilde, do you care to address recent rumors that you're a resurrected corpse?
Listen, that is a fisheye lens. And I admit, is that my best angle? Was that my best ever look? No. It's startling. It's a startling image. It was a fisheye lens and not I don't know why I was so close to the camera. I didn't have to be. That's not the truth. I'm not dead.
How did this get out? Did she post it?
She posted that video.
But if she posted, but she didn't post the fish.
The original was an interview that she did.
You would hope to get away with that quietly.
That it's a fisheye lens, right? Because at the bottom, even things are.
So she's laughing. The question is, did it get to her? I mean, she's doing it right, which is to make a joke out of it. But does it upset her?
I don't think it upsets her, but I think she's definitely alarmed by the look.
She was definitely alarmed enough to put out a video responding to it, but yeah, I think she totally took it as a joke. I mean, she should know, right? It's not my best look.
As a director, when she's doing an interview, she should walk and say, "All right, what kind of lens before we start? What kind of lens are you working with here?"
I got another take. I got another take on this. That you put a video out of yourself looking really gnarly, and then everybody comments on it, and then a week later you do a normal video, and by comparison, no matter who you are, you look hot. Because you're comparing it to when you were gnarly. So this is a long play.
I know you think you're playing 3D chess. This is barely checkers.
No. I mean, think about this.
But you should go check that lens that we're using right now, because I'm looking on a monitor.
Trust me, in a week, wait.
Coming up.
Stefon Diggs in court today for the start of the trial with his former chef, who has accused him of sexual assault. And she actually took the stand today and revealed that there's a whole other part of their relationship that we didn't know about, at least according to her.
Be right back.
Stefon Diggs in court today for the start of the trial with his former chef, who has accused him of sexual assault. And she actually took the stand today and revealed that there's a whole other part of their relationship that we didn't know about, at least according to her. This was not just about cooking meals for him. It was about a sexual relationship at one point.
How would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. It started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
it really feels like this all stems from an issue over her not traveling with Diggs' camp to Art Basel in November.
She said refused to do it.
That he said there was an issue that someone else on Diggs' team, she says, was having a sexual relationship with Diggs. And Jamila Adams, who is the former chef, was accused of kind of sharing that business with other people. And it got back to the people involved, Diggs and his other staffer.
Right.
And so the other staffer said, I don't want her to come on this trip. And then that's when this all really came to a head.
Was this before he started with Cardi B?
No, this is around the same time he is with Cardi B.
So the plot really thickens.
There are now 3 different women that are being accused of being with Diggs around the same time.
And she's with him or not with him now? I forgot.
I think they're officially not together, but I remember we saw them when he went to the concert.
Right.
And then they left together.
Right.
So
who knows?
I guess
Who knows?
sometimes, some days they're together, some nights.
Sometimes not. Okay, every weekend we put polls up on the website to find out how you feel about things that happened last week. Excuse me. We did it this weekend. Here are the results.
All right, David's murder charge. I think he did it, or innocent till proven guilty.
They're going to go he did it because of the prosecution's brief.
Let's see.
Yeah?
Wow.
Okay. Trump's golden White House. Love it, leave it alone, or 86 it.
Can you say that?
I think you
Did
can.
you say 86?
Well, with some peril.
Yeah.
I think they're going to say 86 it, and they did.
Yep.
Okay.
Go with the Senator Kelly. James Comey's 8647 indictment is ridiculous. 86 means to remove or fire, or good. It's a call for violence.
It's got to be the first, please. Yeah, but not enough.
But not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah, that's bad cop voting.
The Rock pulled over for tinted windows. Yeah, you can't ticket Hobbs. Oh, I got it. Or ticket him just for Tooth Fairy. I think they're going to say Tooth Fairy.
I liked Tooth Fairy.
I think they're going to say that. Yeah, they
hate
did.
to admit it, but
okay.
Britney leaves rehab after just over 2 weeks. She'll be fine, or there's more trouble ahead.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if this is wishful thinking.
They want it to be fine, but...
Wow, look at that.
Wow. Man.
Wow, the Free Britney movement there.
What happened?
Sydney Sweeney shares Scooter Braun pics. She's going to marry him, or she's just having fun.
Ooh,
they're gonna say
what do we think
They're
here?
going to say just having fun.
She's just having fun.
But
come on.
Don't be so sure.
All right.
Last one.
Megan Thee Stallion quits Broadway. I get it, breakups suck. Or come on. The show must go on. Please be the last.
I should be the last one. Good.
You know what?
The show must go on.
Smart folks out there.
Yeah.
Coming up.
So you're going to be hearing a lot about comedians this week. The Netflix is a joke comedy festival is running all week in Los Angeles. Pretty much everybody is here. And I guess you could say we were the unofficial start to this week of comedy.
And I don't want to brag, but it just seems like all the comedians in town are fighting to host this bus.
Be right back.
So you're going to be hearing a lot about comedians this week. The Netflix is a joke comedy festival is running all week in Los Angeles. Pretty much everybody is here. And I guess you could say we were the unofficial start to this week of comedy because
in a big way.
The TMZ comedy crawl was rolling this weekend, and
it was a great way to kick off this time of comedy season.
The comedy season.
This comedy season. And I don't want to brag, but it just seems like all the comedians in town are fighting to host this bus because once one of them hosts, they're like, oh, can I come along? Can I come along? So it was hosted by Kat C, but then she brought the Klein Boys and Iyanna Dunn. They were all great.
There's no room for passengers.
There was almost no room for I know, leave the room,
well,
some
they
room
at least
for passengers.
Pay.
Yeah, next time we'll have the co-host pay.
Okay, thanks.
No, we're not making the co-host pay.
That's a great idea. Anyway, so we went to a great comedy bar crawl. Started at the Improv, then we went to the Laugh Factory where we got to sit in on like 3 sets. 3 different.
This is nuts.
Finesse Mitchell was there. We got to watch Finesse Mitchell. Like, you get to like kind of sit in on a VIP balcony when you're there, and then they just pass around shots. It's amazing.
By the way,
then we ended at the Comedy Store with group shots. I will say something extra special about this night was that the Klein Boys did freestyle all night. but like funny freestyle. So not only are they comedians, they're freestyle rappers, and they freestyled the night away.
Comedic raps.
Comedic raps. I don't know what you call it, but they two in one.
So it's like a comedy crawl and a music festival rolled into one.
That's it, exactly. It was just a great start to this comedy season. People need to buy tickets for the comedy crawl.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
only getting better. We have some exciting hosts coming up.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, go to tmztours.com. What else you guys want to talk about?
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm from Ghana. And today I want to talk about Ashley Graham. I think it was a bit of a stretch when she said it was a slam in the face to body positivity. I think it kind of simplified the case. Yes, now people are shifting more to the thinner, wanting to be thinner side. But Ozempic is a drug that needs to be used by people. But the problem is, are you more concerned about your health or being skinny because it's a trending topic, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's always kind of a trending topic, though. You know?
Always has been.
One more.
Hi, Serena here, New York City. I am going back to Olivia Wilde. I just want to say I'm glad to hear she's doing well and that she's not a resurrected corpse. I had suspected as much. I think if there was a mad scientist going around resurrecting dead people, she would be a curious first pick. I'd personally go with maybe Gregory Peck myself. I mean, don't mind if I do, but I thought she looked beautiful. She always does, even if you think she looks like Gollum. Gollum eyes can be a really stunning feature, so love and light to her.
Are you fencing purses?
What are you fencing purses?
What are those?
Those are command strips. There's a lot going on my walls. What happens?
She didn't walk out with a trench coat and go like, oh, take out all these purses.
I'm just
They're hanging on her wall.
I'm just looking at it. I don't know.
Now she's running a crime ring?
Coming up.
You gotta hand it to Drake. He is doing everything he can to turn the page, but every time he takes a step, along come the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Over on the sideline. Be right back.
Well, you gotta hand it to Drake. He is doing everything he can to turn the page. He's getting ready for the release of his new album, Iceman, and in fact was shooting a music video. So things are good in his world. But every time he takes a step forward and tries to get past all that, that thing that happened, we'll say that, the thing that happened with Kendrick, then along come the Cleveland Cavaliers, who won Game 7 against Drake's Toronto Raptors. And yes, at the end of the game, they kind of jabbed at Drake. Not kind of.
Harden's got a timeout. Goes into Dr. Rajakovic over on the sidelines. He was getting pushed back. They got the timeout.
They're not like us, blaring in the arena. I mean, can we just be clear? They Not Like Us is an LA anthem, and all these other cities just taking it so they can take shots at Drake is not the intent. That's not what Kendrick wanted.
This is good for Drake. Now, it is good for Drake.
How is that good for Drake?
Because he already lost that battle.
Right.
But it just keeps him relevant. That he's important enough.
They're making him relevant as losing.
Well, because it was his team that lost. Yep. And he's front and center. Yep. He's got an album coming out. Yep. The album's got some heat. Yep. He had a really good rollout of the album.
So he wants people to remember that he took a huge L?
It keeps him relevant. He makes a joke out of it now. Win for Drake.